All right, let's dive into an explainer today that is going to completely flip how we think about teaching history. Seriously, if you are an early childhood educator, this one is absolutely for you. We are stepping away from those grand adult concepts of time, and we're zooming straight into the immediate lived environment of a child.
I mean, how do you even teach history to a 2-year-old? It honestly sounds like a total contradiction, right? Because, we typically associate history with these super complex, abstract ideas that toddlers just literally cannot grasp. We think of history as centuries-old treaties, distant decades, and complex geopolitical timelines. So when someone comes along and says we need to teach social studies and history to infants and toddlers, well, it's completely natural to feel a bit of skepticism.
But here's the thing, it's a massive contrast. Early childhood history isn't locked away in some dusty museum with ancient columns and scrolls. It's the rhythm of a child's day. It's their understanding of what comes next. We're completely throwing out that myth of memorizing dry calendar dates. Instead, the reality of early childhood history is all about mastering time, understanding predictability, sequencing events, and recognizing personal change. It's really about answering those foundational questions for a child. How have I grown, and what is the difference between what happened yesterday and what is happening right now?
So here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We're going to cover rethinking ECE history, the developmental trajectory, centers of historical discovery, some actionable history blueprints, and finally, inclusive and accessible history.
Okay, kicking things off with Section 1, Rethinking ECE History. We're shifting the paradigm from memorization right into lived experience. The National Council for the Social Studies actually defines early history in a really cool way. Not as memorization, but as the operational study of time, predictability, and change. It's highly localized. You are grounding young children within their immediate, personal, lived environments and their predictable daily schedules. I mean, think about it. Every single time a child realizes that washing hands means lunch is coming, they are engaging in foundational historical thinking. How cool is that? Moving right along to Section 2, the developmental trajectory, where we'll trace historical awareness through those SS2C milestones.
It's amazing how organically this awareness builds over time. For an infant, 0 to 12 months, history is purely sensory. You dim the lights and they anticipate sleep. Then move to 12 to 36 months and toddlers actually start responding to sequences. They might point to a schedule icon or use early temporal words like all gone. And then by 3 to 5 years, preschoolers are ordering steps chronologically and sharing narratives about their own personal pasts.
So what might just look like a basic, everyday care routine to an outsider is actually rigorous, standards-aligned developmental work. It maps directly to official social studies standard indicators. When an older toddler says something like, "I used to cry at the doctor when I was a baby, but now I'm big," they are demonstrating high-level historical awareness. That realization is just huge. Okay, on to Section 3, Centers of Historical Discovery. Let's look at weaving these concepts naturally right into your play areas. This is where it gets really fun. Literally just dropping an old rotary phone into dramatic play as a then and now prop is a game changer. Or observing a seed sprout in the science center. In the library, you can feature storytelling and timelines. Over in the block area, try adding photos of local community landmarks to encourage children to recreate places they actually know. You are weaving historical concepts so naturally into their environment that learning becomes entirely play-based. That brings us to Section 4, and I'm super excited about this one. Actionable history blueprints. Let's get into some step-by-step practical application. Imagine tossing out those dry paper worksheets and using a tactile seed-to-flower box instead. You're replacing basic drills with actual physical objects. A child handles a soil pot, then a seed packet, maybe a water vial, and finally a little fabric blossom. They arrange them from left to right to demonstrate chronological growth. You then prompt them with active transition words, like first, next, and last. It completely transforms abstract concepts into physical causality over time. Another fantastic idea is a then and now personal history wall. You just collect an infant photo and a current photo of each child, and you place them right at the child's eye level on the wall. If you add handheld magnifying glasses, you literally turn them into scientific investigators of their own history. They can look closely and say, "Whoa, look how small my hands were then. What can my hands do now that they couldn't do then?" It just makes the concept of the past incredibly concrete. And check out this step-by-step process for a universal family timeline. It beautifully links those individual pasts to a shared classroom narrative. Step 1, provide families with a durable, pre-cut ribbon. Step 2, families work together at home to mark just 3 or 4 milestones. Then the magic happens in step 4. The child brings this ribbon to circle time and acts as the historian of their own life, narrating their progression to their peers. It's so empowering. Finally, we hit section 5, inclusive and accessible history. We absolutely must honor diverse heritages and unique learning needs. Because following established anti-bias frameworks is absolutely crucial here. When we put together these family timelines, we need to actively honor foster placements and adoptions, validating milestones that might not follow a traditional linear path. We also need to utilize visual picture schedules so children with unique needs can anticipate transitions safely. And of course, we've got to ensure our books and dolls avoid outdated depictions, validating every single family heritage. And, when we build these supportive, structured environments, we are literally empowering every single child to confidently step forward into their future. We aren't just teaching them about the passage of time, we are teaching them that they have a distinct place in it, that their growth matters, and that their personal story is a super valuable part of the community's story. I absolutely love this quote. I am different today than I was yesterday. I can do hard things right now, and I am growing toward a bright tomorrow. This isn't about rote memorization of facts. It's about internalizing this exact sentiment. It's about building a strong identity rooted in growth and capability. So here's the big takeaway for you. Keep this provocative thought with you this week. You are already teaching history every single time you look at a child and ask, so what comes next? Every visual schedule you point to, every seed you plant, every single story you sequence, you are building the architects of tomorrow by grounding them in the reality of today. So take a look around your learning centers this week. How are you helping your students uncover the history of their own incredible growth?